My name's Georgie and I live just on Bullspond Road, around the corner from the Curve Garden. Especially around where I live, I try to tend to go towards the canals or parks and stuff. And finding this place, it's been really nice to actually have a drink in some outside space.
Okay, my name's Matt. Yeah, I love using outdoor spaces. I find that it's really relaxing, it's good to socialise, good for health and fitness, you know, good to relieve the pressure off day of work.
My name's Lillian.
So sorry.
My name's Lillian.
What time do you spend at your local park or in an open square?
For me, it's idle 24/7. I go out I go there to 2 hours maybe. I'm playing with my friends, playing football all the time, meeting new people, finding new football cages, but I didn't know of outside of in Rodney Market and things.
My name is Layla Torson and I live in Dalston. 3 young children, 5, 3 and 1, and only a very small garden at home, so especially in the warmer months we use the outdoor spaces quite a lot.
Right. Do you think that the council makes outdoor spaces accessible to everybody?
Yes, I'd say there's a definite improvement in recent years. I think the additions of putting in cafes and those kind of facilities where you can get away from bad weather, as in Enisuoh Park, I think something maybe in Hackney Downs would be a good idea along those lines. Victoria Park's definitely improved recently. So I think that definitely encourages people to go out and spend more time there if there's somewhere inside they can escape to if the weather's bad.
Hello, my name's Matt and I actually live in Acton, but we're just over this side of town today.
How much time do you spend in outdoor spaces, so such as squares, fields?
Not as much as I'd like to, especially living in and around London. There's not always heaps of places to go to. It's quite central, so yeah, it's good to have a place sort of in a suburban area like this. You know, it's a bit of a surprise to walk out here and find it.
What do you think that could be done for you to visit outdoor spaces more?
A little bit of sort of promotion, like marketing maybe, to know that these kind of places exist, I guess, yeah.
Do you think, I know that you've mentioned you live in Acton,
yeah,
but do you think from what you've seen in the Curve that the council makes outdoor spaces accessible to everybody?
I think this seems accessible to everybody, yeah. Like I say, there's families here, there's people having a drink and no one's causing any trouble. It's a really nice place to be.
My name's Carol.
My name's Samuel.
I think we always talk about the fact that London feels like a little bit of a party every weekend. It's a nice open space so you can just go and hang, have a barbecue, have a few cans of beer in the park. Also as well, sometimes you want to play around in the park. It'd be nice if there was an area in the park that was like a games area.
Do you think many ethnic minority groups visit the local park regularly?
I don't think so, no.
Do you think you might know why that is?
I think naturally it's not something that we do, and also we don't have the education about the benefits of going out into the green space. So yeah, it's not something that we do naturally unless we get the education, like the abilities, and yeah.
What do you mean by the education?
Well, let's say, for instance, Hackney is a very deprived area, and one of the childhood obesity is one of the main issues. So basically, if you can teach them to just let the kids go out in the park and play and exercise, so just educate them on things like that.
Tried to put on any events at any parks before?
Yeah, well, recently we've got the Kurdish New Year coming up in March, and we try to actually do the big celebration in Shoreditch Park, which I believe is a part of Hackney, and we were refused the permission. The reason was that it may not be safe enough for some reason, but yeah, we refused, and that would be Kurdish New Year is where thousands of Kurds all around the country come to, because it's the Kurdish New Year, you know, it happens once a year.
Do you think that the Kurdish community feel welcome to use the open spaces within Hackney?
I mean, especially that we weren't allowed permission to celebrate one of the most important events of the year, then no, not really.
Ahmed? And where are you from, Ahmed?
I'm Kurdish, born here, so British born Kurdish.
British born Kurdish. How many people from the Kurdish community that go to the park regularly?
No, I always discuss this with my peers and my friends and family. They don't really. I mean, one of my cousins his flat is adjacent to a massive park, and he just rarely uses it. And he always says that he should use it more, but he just doesn't. And
why is that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if there's a correlation between ethnicity and park use, but I think it may be because when people aren't from around this area or around the country, and they're from a different background where these kind of things aren't so common, and especially from back home, parks weren't common at all. They were non-existent until maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So when people aren't used to these things back home, they come here and there's not really a precedent set for them to follow, and I think that might be a reason why people don't frequent them too much. Maybe if more ethnic events were held in parks rather than in, because a lot of our events, Kurdish events, are held in community centres, which are already known to the Kurdish community anyway, because that's where Kurdish people, meet. That's where they tend to hang out. So I guess if instead of holding events indoors, they held them in parks, it would be a good way to raise awareness that these facilities are available.
Hello, my name is Archie.
Would you go to a park on your own?
Yes.
Yes. Are you here on your own?
Yeah. Sometimes because it's so close to my home, I don't feel like sitting at home. I need some fresh air, so I go out for a while.
Okay, so if there was one thing, or two things rather, that there could be done to improve park open spaces, what would it be?
Just make it more convenient for people to come, or maybe somewhere to buy drink, or toilet for sure, somewhere to sit, maybe for children, playgrounds, just a bit more organised.
Activities and events, what do you think could be done to make you come to the park more?
What's that thing, the Hackney weekend thing, that was well fun.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hackney Weekender?
Yeah. Any more of that? That was fun.
Big event, a big free event.
No, we're not saying it's a big free thing.
Yeah.
Free is good.
Yeah.
Free is good.
Or maybe because you could get involved with sports there as well.
Music
Start
as well,
with
just a bit of music somewhere. It's always like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't have to be a big event.
But they at the heat on the Heath they stop people playing music.
Satisfied with the amount of outdoor spaces in Hackney?
No,
I guess they're supposed to say no.
I'd like
no.
I wouldn't mind a bit more. Victoria Park doesn't count, does it?
Are you satisfied with the amount of outdoor spaces in Hackney?
No,
I guess they're supposed to say no.
I'd like
no.
I wouldn't mind a bit more. Victoria Park doesn't count, does it?
My name is Paul Sharp. I've got two children, one's 7, one's 3, and they need to find some outdoor spaces because we live in a flat, we have no garden, and so outdoor spaces like the Curve Garden are brilliant to bring them there only 2 minutes up the road.
How much time do you spend there?
Depends on the weather. In the winter months you don't go there very often, but in the summer months you go there every weekend, after school, in the holidays, every other day.
So what would make you want to use the park or outdoor spaces more in winter?
Oh, one of those caravans which are also bars like they have in Parisian parks,
Right.
which sell ice cream and food, and you can get a glass of wine. That's what they should do.
What do you tend to do when you visit outdoor spaces such as Hackney Downs or London Fields?
Well, sometimes you go to the playground area, sometimes you just watch your children run around like lunatics until they get tired.
Do you think that you're satisfied with the outdoor spaces that are accessible to you?
Oh yeah, Hackney is brilliant for outdoor spaces. We're very lucky compared to other parts of London. Hackney has so many parks, they called it the lungs of London a few years ago, so it's a great place to live, and the parks are brilliant.
Hello, My name is Yalchin Elbeoğlu. I live in about 23 years in Hackney, Dalston area. Mostly I was using Enisuoh Park, Hackney Downs. We can't go Victoria because it's far away with the transport.
How much time do you spend there?
Mostly we go weekend because my kids, I look after the kids. My wife, she's disabled. That's why I take them, and sometimes I take my wife to Enisuoh Park. Good for us.
Why do you think it's good for your wife?
Sorry?
You mentioned your wife's disability. Why do you think it's good for her visiting an outdoor space?
Because she needs to walk. She needs to get fresh air because she can't stay always home.
Right.
That's why we go in park.
Everything. And what do you tend to do when you're over there?
Sometimes we just get in some sitting down, the kids play with it and they buy ice cream.
Are you satisfied?
Yeah, I'm very satisfied. I love it because I'm living 23 to 22 years in Hackney. They've done well.
My name's Liam Fletcher.
I'm Scarlett.
How would you define an open space? When you hear that word, what comes to your mind?
Anything like a park with greenery. We live near, we live in Upper Clapton, so we live near Walthamstow Marshes. So it doesn't. So I would include sort of like open big spaces.
Yeah, it would include marshes in there, as well as sort of Victorian style parks.
Do you like Victorian style parks?
Yeah, I like Victorian style parks. I like, but I also like the sort of slightly wilder places as well, like the marshes. And are we talking about just Hackney, or are we talking about London wide?
You can mention other places in London.
Because you've got the Heath and places like that, which are obviously kind of totally different from somewhere like this, where it's much less sort of organised, I suppose, manufactured. And those places are kind of amazing as well.
You mentioned that you think it's important when you're in a city to come to have an open space. Why is that so important?
Well, there's something. I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly why it's important for human beings, but I have a sense that it's important in some way to be away from the traffic and the sort of noise of your normal city environment, which is kind of loud, and it's important, I think, to be able to come to somewhere quieter, and in somewhere where you can see for quite a long way, which you usually can't in a city, in a street. There's usually a building right in front of you.
But actually, places like this aren't really that big, but you can sort of achieve that sense of like getting away from the traffic and sort of madness of London quite easily within quite a sort of small space, I think, in London.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a massive park.
Whether it's just a sort of big square or a big park.
And there's also a sense of being with other people, a sense of community, which you wouldn't. Well, you might get in the pub, obviously, but it's another way of getting that sense of kind of being around people who are in your community.